Yo, what up? This is Big Cappuccino, the Great Wu-Tang Clan, Killer Bees on the Swarm.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Bizarre from D12.
Yo, what's good, y'all? This is Doug E. Fresh.
Hey, Redman is in the building. You already know.
Hey guys, this is Emily Peachy.
Shout out, man, to Worldwide Collaborations, man.
I want to shout out Worldwide Collaborations, LLC.
Shout out to the Worldwide Collaborations, LLC.
World movement, beyond thousands of movements.
The world movement, beyond thousands of movements.
All about representing each other together. So check this out.
What's up? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of the Worldwide Collaboration?
You guys should all be a part of Worldwide Collaboration.
Worldwide Collaborations, LLC. Check us out, man, and check what's going on, man. Word up. I have recently been choosing to be a spokesman and an ambassador, so you will see a lot more of me. Join the movement, man. It's beyond thousands of movements right now and talents put together, all about representing each other together.
I want to join, so I might see you there. All right, much success.
It is a worldwide collaboration song.
Yeah. Look, brainstorming, creating, thinking, and new ideas, inventing innovations, representing everything, having members collaborate. Worldwide collaborations, ongoing visualizations, programming operations, bringing everyone together equals more motivation in the situation.
Hey, welcome back to Chatterbox with King Jacob. I'm yours truly, King Jacob, man. We're in the building once again, man. You know, just like to thank God for another opportunity, man, to bring you some news, media, and some of the best backstories in the business today. So we have another special guest, you know, from up top, from the New York area, you know,
Yes.
None other than Senior G. What's up, brother?
Peace, King Jacob. How you doing this evening?
I'm good, man. Salute, man. So man, we're gonna get into your story, and I definitely know, man, that it's been a journey on this music business, because nothing in this music business is easy. So it's definitely a lot of, you know, trials and tribulations, a lot of ups and downs and mishaps and all the above. So, man, who is Senior G for those who are in the audience that want to know who you are? Who is Senior G?
Well, senior is strategically enhancing non-intelligent others righteously. A senior. And
Okay.
G is the first initial of my last name. The EE is visual. You see it, but you don't say it. It's front.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I can see that, man. I can see that. So when did you understand that you had this talent that you want to share globally?
I mean, I've been musically inclined. I guess it's genetic. It's in my DNA. But as far as discovering it for myself, peace, Gabe. It's one of our creatives. Finally, TV in the building. Part of the Village and the Village Global Network. We'll get into that in a little bit. But when the movie Big came out with Tom Hanks, there was a section of the movie where they was in a famous toy store that they reopened here in New York. It's in Manhattan. It's called FAO Schwartz. It's a world famous toy store, very expensive too. They had a keyboard. It was that went on the floor years ago, and in the movie they was playing a piece from a composition called Chopsticks. And when I heard those notes, I then decided to listen to it over and over, play it back on the VHS, because the DVDs and CDs and all that wasn't invented yet. Laserdisc wasn't invented yet. Fortunate enough for me, I had access to an electric butterfly baby grand piano. And at first it started out with me banging on it, literally. And then I started to listen for the notes to the point where I mimicked it and started to play then by ear classical pieces. Um, Shortly there afterwards, in the fourth grade, Miss Vale's class, I went to public school PS 80 in South Jamaica, Queens. We used to pass notes in class, and she caught me passing notes. You know, she had an extra set of eyes with those glasses she was wearing, so she caught me out there.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't read what the note had said per se. She didn't put me on blast like that, but what she did say was, if you're gonna write something, at least write something that rhymes. And that's what resonated with me from that semi embarrassing moment being called out in front of the class.
Hmm.
And I took that and ran with it, and started to develop in my mind at the time as a child what rhymes were. um and When I got in contact and started to hang around my older cousin Mikey D from Main Source after Large Professor had left the group, um he began to mentor me and say, hey, look, little cuz, it's not like, you don't do it like that. And he taught me how to count bars and how to properly, at least write my rhymes together in a way where if somebody did have to come behind me or, you know, read the lyrics as if it was like on a lyric sheet, they would understand, where the cadence was, because only I knew where the cadence was. A lot of my rhymes looked like short stories or haikus ages ago, and Mikey D definitely taught me how to formulate my thoughts and put it down on paper when I was still using paper.
Okay, okay. Shout out to Mikey D, man, and thank you, Kimmy, for checking in. We
Kimmy
appreciate that.
K, shout out to
Yeah,
Kimmy K,
yeah, no doubt.
KimmyK.com, KimmyK.com.
Okay, okay, okay. That's what's up. So let's rewind it back just a little bit.
Sure.
You said genetically you had a musical gift. So let's talk about the fam. And when you say genetically, that means from generations and generations to generations. That music was in you. It's not something you can get away from. It's already in you through your
I
bloodline.
I mean, in essence, it's in all of us. I
Hmm.
mean, to be honest with you and respectfully, the original language was tone, was frequency. So now, music, when we put music together and everything, it's an expression, it's a combination of things. Um, but for me, both of my parents were musically inclined. One was a singer and the other was a drummer.
Okay, okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So
Mhm.
you learn your cousin taught you how to count bars,
Yes.
and as far as when you learn how to really flow lyrically and
Yeah.
stay on track with the production,
Yeah.
and
A
just
young
and just have
teenager.
cadence, right, just have
Yeah.
cadence on the track and
Hmm.
learning how to engage your sound so your target market artists can really vibe with you and understand that they feel like they was there with you when you first recorded it. Like, when did you know that you had all of that?
Oh, that wasn't until many moons later, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Back then it was just me, rapping at the time and getting better at being able to communicate with people. I always had a gift of commanding the attention of my elders. I've been doing that my entire life. I've always
Mm-hmm.
been told I've had an old soul, you know. So the music for me personally is just a segue to speak what's really on my mind. You know, in all honesty, I feel the music speaks for itself. That's why I get into the position to be on platforms such as yours. When I get to these platforms, I use the opportunity to get to know the people on that platform along with the host. In this particular case, your reflection.
Right.
You know, but the music speaks for itself. Senior G is a messenger. I'm just a vessel. A lot of the things that um I say aren't necessarily my original thoughts. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just that I've been chosen to deliver the message.
Okay, so from a mental and the emotional and a spiritual level,
Hmm.
how much does your music impact your everyday life?
My music impacts my everyday life every day. I it's easy to be me, you know. It's hard to be something that I'm not. It requires too much time and energy that I do not have, nor do I want to have,
Okay, okay,
you know.
okay.
Um,
That's
New
interesting,
age hip
interesting, man.
hop. Yeah, new age hip hop was created um immediately after I won amateur night at the Apollo. That was October 13th, 1999. It was a Wednesday evening when I went into the building with 7 people and left knowing everybody that was there.
Hmm.
You know,
Interesting, interesting, man. Apollo, huh? So what was that feeling like for you, man? That had to be an awesome moment in your life. So tell me
yeah.
about the experience.
I mean, it was dope. How I even got there was um through a comedian um by the name of Capone.
Hmm.
He was hosting the Bronx BBQ's open mic at the time, and an old associate of mine had taken me out there. Said, you know, we got this open mic thing, you should go. And I said, all right. Um, you know, I was a young dad at the time, wanting to do the right thing, and I didn't have transportation, and I really wasn't trying to get on the Iron Horse at the time. So he said, "Nah, I got you. I'll drive." And went there, did the open mic, and there was a company um that was, what's their name? The Shades of Blackness Entertainment. It was an all women company owned, and just so happened to be doing the show um either that weekend or it was the following weekend, and they wanted me to perform in that show. And I was like, I would love to do it, but I don't have a way to get to New Rochelle. You know, I don't drive. And I was told that don't worry about it, we'll get you there. And I got there. I was introduced by Capone again because he was hosting that particular event. And I was the only act that got a standing ovation by doing my own material, and I did it a cappella. So therefore, there was nothing to get misconstrued or confused. You knew exactly what I was saying, how I was saying it.
Okay,
And
that's dope. That's real
yeah,
dope.
after
Man.
that, Capone told me he was going to get me on the Apollo, and that's what he did.
And how old were you? How old was you when that happened, man? Like, what was your age when you did the Apollo?
I was 17 and three quarters of years of age.
17. Young.
I couldn't
Okay.
even vote
Okay.
yet.
Right. So that had to be a really amazing experience for you. So I'm glad you got to experience that. And so from then on, man, if you can tell us in how was it when you first, the very first single that you went in the booth and recorded? Can you remember that experience?
The very first track that I recorded, I was super young. Mike took me to his studio. It was Dr. Shock. I think he was a DJ at the time, DJ Dr. Shock. And he had this beat that was already done. It was a sample. It was that that beat. He sampled
Uh,
it and did. I didn't know nothing about business at all. I just know that it was a sample and a break beat. You know, that's to me that's what all hip hop was. Like you had to be nice, you know, back then. Like you knew if the artist was whack because you couldn't get lost in translation of different transitions of the instrumentation, you know. So that was that beat. That was it was a good experience, you know, to finally like hear myself back and you know went and mess with it on the tape. I think I played it so many times on the tape before it started to like get that super analog hiss to it. I had to record it to another tape.
mm.
I had to go get a TDK because I ran out of Maxwell, so I was like, the only thing they had in the store was TDKs, and after that, that's when I started buying TDKs. That's when I was still DJing back then, making mixtapes back in the days.
It's funny you say that, man. You know, I'm from South Carolina, so um, I had a cousin that used to come down south all the time, man. And
Hmm.
my very first experience with mixtapes that's coming from New York was my man DJ Ron G. And I tell this story all the time. I say, man, DJ Ron G really put me up on game on a lot of stuff, man, because he used to have so many mixtapes, man. So you know, us down south was fans of DJ Ron G back in the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And DJ Ron G just poured over into us, man. And I can remember, you know, listening to people like Just Ice, you know, Three Times Dope, you know, leaders of the new school, you know, just it's just
Okay.
that hip hop been around so much, man. You know, I can remember when everybody in my school was bugging when Audio 2 came out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And this was like way back in the day, and so but who really sold me on how lyrical a person really can be, man, is Rakim.
Yeah.
Rakim just really had me like bugging. Rakim and Big Daddy Kane you used to just have me like wow, like
Yeah.
and then who really showed me on how a person can teach somebody about something while they're presenting their lyrical content was none other than KRS One. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So you know that the
Knowledge
essence
reigns
of hip hop,
supreme.
right, man. The essence of hip hop is something that I feel like we have to get back to.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. You know, um, but my approach to getting back there was the creation of new age hip hop. I knew it wasn't going to go back to what it started off as. That'll never happen. You know, it won't ever happen. Um, but I used it as a guideline, and I used it as a guideline, and with new age hip hop, there's the essence of the beginnings there, but it's only used as the foundation.
Mm.
You know, the new age part of it is me being myself. I'm okay with being me. Everyone else is taken up already. You know.
I heard somebody say that before. I'm
Hmm.
okay with being me,
Yeah, I'm
and
okay with
and
that.
and he goes by the name of one of the coldest MCs that I think ever came out of New York. His name is AZ because they was asking him why he don't worry about mainstream media. He said, "I'm okay with being me." You know,
Hmm.
uh, I mean, he said, "I don't do it for the money. I do it for the essence." And so,
Right,
I can appreciate that.
right.
And and so with you moving forward, in your career, man, you've created a target market audience, a substantial fan base. And so, how hard was it to create that substantial fan base where people are always checking for you and always waiting to see what you're going to put out new?
I mean, in essence, I'm still developing that. I haven't
Okay.
reached that plateau yet, and I'm fine with that as well. You know, um, new age hip hop. Even though it's been out for over 2 decades, only within the last few years have we seen print and articles, and something that's traceable. And I'm grateful for the journey, you know, and I'm going to continue to stay the course. I'm not in a rush to get to the greatness that I'm acquiring, and know that that's my destination. I'm appreciative to all of the help that I've received and still receiving. Um, Shout out to MJ from MJ Hip Hop Connect, one of the most important villagers that I have in the village. Shout out to all of the creatives that's in the village, that's part of the Village Global Network that we have. Um, and I'm just going to continue to grow. Knowledge is infinite. You can never stop learning. It doesn't
That's
have
right.
a age cap.
Right, right. You're definitely right about that. And so, let's talk about your new single that you have out.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me the creation of it, how you kind of came up with the concept of it, and what does that new single mean to you when you're giving it to the masses?
Well, the record is the title of the record is called That Feeling, and it's presented by myself and Bishop. Um, he played the drums on the piece, and we've been working together for a long time, and we just haven't put a record out together in a long time.
Hmm.
The first record that we did originally was Juss Listen, and the original recording was early 2000, but it was never commercially released. And at that point in time, new age hip hop was still very young. Even though I knew my mental capacity was a lot further than my peers in that moment, even the ones that were considered to be my elders, calendar years wise, but mentally, my mind was always light years ahead of
Hmm. Hmm.
me, Um, I just, I just took my time and still taking my time to develop the tools and the skill set necessary to show the world that there's an option, there's an alternative musically in
Hmm.
what is being portrayed as rap slash hip hop because that's the category. Rap slash hip hop, which in itself to me is a slap in the face.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
why that's why that's why it took Common Sense, now Common, 18 years to get an award because of the way it was categorized. So Senior G says no, Senior G is not a rapper. Senior G is an MC, a master of ceremony. Senior G has a vocabulary. It's very extensive. Jurassic even. Huge. And it grows daily. When we talk about Rakim, there's an interview he did early to mid 90s where he states, and I'm paraphrasing, it's not verbatim, but something along the lines of, in today's music, they just have the body there. They remove the mind and the soul out of hip hop. Just the body. And moving fast forward to today, 2023, it's a lot of music that presents a lot of low vibration activity. You know, and I think, you know, it's always going to be that. It's not nothing wrong with it per se. It only becomes wrong when you try to force feed it onto people who are unaware and then try to then usher them into thinking that that's all that it is. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Senior G, and this is me saying it respectfully, you know, Senior G is the alternative. New age hip hop is the alternative. We believe in vocabulary. New age hip hop is 99.9% profanity free music. All the records that G Strings Productions produces, GSP Mixing mixes, is ran through a panel of children ranging from the ages of 7 to 17, depending upon the record.
Hold. So it's ran through a panel of children. So
yes,
we would a school teacher would categorize that how they would break down the lyrical content of a genius like yourself. They would do what we call a social session. And
that is a layman term, correct?
Right. And so the kids would dissect this music and understand what it means and want to paraphrase in their own terms why you said this, but yet let it take them somewhere else intellectually. So I definitely see what you're doing.
Yes.
And it definitely needs to be more of that.
Yes. If they have any concerns or issues or suggestions, we reiterate the record to those suggestions, do the reapproach, and get the okay first before the world hears it. That's for every record.
Okay.
You know,
I love that. So
teach them well and let them lead the way, right? Simple
yeah.
directions. So
yeah,
you know, that's all I've been doing. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
that's right. And so I listen. You know, I was listening to Juss Listen. So yeah, listen, man, that's different, bro. That's different.
Thank you. Now, Bishop and I produced that record 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago.
Wow.
It was recorded once in the early 2000s, and it was never commercially released. there was still a little bit of profanity in there. I said ninja like 7 times in the original, right? And in the chorus, I said the short version of a female canine, right? And I just changed it because I knew now, as I've gotten more mature and more seasoned in life, and as a parent of adult children and small children, I had to figure out a way where the adults will get it, obviously, but the kids will get it in a way where, all right, I'm still a kid, but I'm not stupid, because we were kids first. We was kids once too, right?
Right.
And we know how it feels when adults don't take it seriously and think that we're not as capable of the intellectualness because of our age, which is a form of prejudice. You know? So new age hip hop eliminates that. I believe that if you are a king or leader in any capacity, whatever message you're delivering should only be said once. And you have the responsibility as that leader to formulate it in a way that it could be understood from the womb to the tomb. Period.
Ooh. Ooh. Now, if that ain't some jewel dropping, I don't know what is.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So this record you recorded 20 years ago.
Yeah, Juss Listen, and then we re-recorded it late 2020, and it was commercially released for the first time January 1st, New Year's Day 2021. It came out.
So man, can you break down the chorus part of that?
Of Juss Listen, I thank
Yeah,
God
man.
that she gave me a gift.
Oh,
Worst
okay. Hold up.
thing,
Hold up.
I
I
said
thank
she.
God. I thank God she gave me a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a lot.
for
It's controversial, but it
I
is
know
what
it's
it is.
controversial, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
So when a person listens to it, it sticks out. Oh, what do you say? What does he mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the science behind this? And so while I got you on this podcast, I need to know what you mean. I need to know what's the science behind it. And if that right there alone plays with one's mind intellectually, it has them thinking.
Yeah, yeah. It does. It wasn't I mean, it's very intentional, yes, but I'm not trolling anybody per se, and nor am I trying to start infringing on anyone's beliefs per se either. But what I will say respectfully is, at some point you become aware. It's inevitable. And whatever that age may or may not be, you as an individual have the opportunity to use your free will
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
to
Uh-huh.
choose
Right.
the truth, which is never easy,
Mm-hmm.
or the lie, the stories, the bedtime stories that have been passed down from generation to generation,
Mm-hmm.
yet no one that can verify any of it.
Yeah, the song is very interesting, bro. The song is way bigger than hip hop. Way bigger than hip hop.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that, and taking the time to actually listen to what was being said versus being caught up in the production. That was intentional. We wanted the production to be decent, you
No,
know.
the production dope, super dope. Like
Thank
big
you.
time dope. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
But the production is dope, but if you have what we call a listening ear,
Hmm.
um, and you listen, be like, you know what? Somebody got to bring NYC back like it once was. So I got this.
Yeah.
I got this young man on my platform tonight. So I said, okay, let me take a listen. Let me let me take a listen if he can give that feeling like a Big L, or let me take a listen if he can give that feeling like a Pun or a Big, or
Hmm.
or let me take a listen, where he can give me that AZ feeling or that Mike Geronimo feeling or that Nature or that Carmega feeling, let me take a listen. And you did that. For real, for real.
Respect, King.
Yeah, yeah, man, you did that. I was like, man, that's an interesting, and it's the type of record, man, that theologically people from not America but from overseas would dissect that record. Like we
Yeah.
talking about Egypt, we talking about Jerusalem, you know,
Hmm.
we talking about Israel, man. We talking about people who studied the Nile River, like those type
Hmm.
of people. You know what I
People
mean?
who know what the Dead Sea Scrolls are. Yeah.
Right, 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 right. So I salute you for that, man. I salute you for that. That's dope. That's real dope. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And tell me about your Village Global Network.
The Village Global Network is a growing network right now. We're at 6 stations. We're in 4 countries. Um, the parent station ran by DJ B Lethal and DJ B Lethal LLC out of Columbus, Ohio, in conjunction with Kimmy K, who is present in the live and KimmyK.com.
Oh, is
Um,
this a television network?
no, it is a radio. It is an internet global radio network.
Okay,
Um,
okay,
in conjunction with Blog Talk Radio, Zeno.fm, and we do have additional monitoring through online radio box. We have
okay.
creatives such as yourself that do their weekly podcast. And what we've done is we've turned them into radio personalities and their podcast into radio show podcasts. So now they're all able to play their favorite music because royalties are being collected, DRT reports are being prepared. So now they no longer have to worry about getting flagged from these
It's
companies that are in my portfolio, such as Meta, Google, that
it's so
owns
interesting
YouTube.
today. It's interesting that I'm talking to you today, right? So at 5
Hmm.
p.m. today on my other podcast, me and my partner Eddie Jones have the 90 South Podcast Network,
Hmm.
and so we had the pleasure of interviewing the R&B platinum duo Men at Large that was brought onto the
Okay.
game by Gerald Levert. And
Okay. I heard that
and
name before.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I said, and then you said you have a whole network. So man, it's so many people I can plug you with. Oh my goodness, bro. So we definitely gonna chop it up for sure, man.
Absolutely. It literally takes a village. Shout out to all the creatives, Finally TV, Write Your Own History, the Rec Boys, Sam Lavelle with Let's Get Activated podcast. Miss Peggy, Healing with Miss Peggy. I'm also a co-host on that show. That's every Tuesday evening. Self-help line that we have. Shout out to Blog Talk Radio for allowing us to do what we do. Again, Zeno.fm, the radio stations that we have, 3 here in the United States, which is LLR Ohio, Tattoo Shop Radio, and our latest radio station we opened up about 2.5 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks, is our country and rock station, Sasquatch Boot Hill Radio. Those are our United States based stations. We have Culture Shock Radio, which is out of Welland, Ontario, Canada. Shout out to the DJ The Block. He's also one of our creatives. He was our international syndicate. He was the reason why we was able to say we were international. Then Cuzzo FM came a few days before Thanksgiving out in Germany in the city of uh, Baden-Württemberg. It's a population of a little over 11.2 million people out there. We have a station there. And the day after Thanksgiving, we acquired Wapter Music FM and got a program director to hop on board from the Caribbean in the island of Guadeloupe, in the city of
Oh wow.
Lisbon. So those are the countries that we're in. We're in the United States, Canada, Germany, and the Caribbean. And it's a beautiful thing to have all of these creatives again,
Mm-hmm.
in the field radio, just coolin podcast. You know, a lot of these creatives are people that I've met when I've got back into the seriousness of music and got off of being jaded and gotten, you know, more information. Some of these creators were creatives that MJ Hip Hop Connects had lined me up with to do interviews on. And I just was able to establish my own rapport. It's not about just this interview here. I thank you, and it's like bye. That's not how Senior G operates. Senior G doesn't
Mm-hmm.
forget anybody, and they'll all attest to it. I don't forget anybody, no matter how small it is or what it is that they, in their mind, they felt was just nothing. Like, nah, Senior, nah, it was nothing. Nah, to me, it's something because it was a choice that you didn't have to make. It was a choice that put me in a higher position to now speak to these things. Now,
Right.
you
So
know,
senior, I can appreciate all of that and then some, man. That's so special in the time that we're living in. We just, you know, came out this pandemic.
hmm
People were scrounging around. A lot of people lost loved ones, and
hmm
so to unify music like that all across the world, that's really special. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's not just the music. It's the people. It's the other
Right,
creatives, such as
right,
yourself. You know,
right.
they might not necessarily do music. They like music, yes, but not everybody does music per se. You know, for example, we have Tea Time with Miss Bunky. She's not a musician at all. You know, she's a cop mom actually. You know, but her
Okay.
content is amazing. You know, what
Right.
we're building here, it's not about just, oh, we just want people who do music. You know, I want people on the network that's quality. I want people in the village that understand that the ultimate religion is common sense.
Ooh, man. Boy.
And that's what the village is, you know.
Right.
That's my team, the villagers, you know, and everyone in the village is someone who understands common sense.
I can appreciate that. I definitely can
Yeah,
appreciate that, man.
yeah. There's an open door policy here. You know, it's a not so secret society. I have nothing to hide. I'm very transparent. I
Hmm.
say what I mean and mean what I say. And I'll go to
Mm.
bat for anybody that's part of the village
You
because
know,
they took a chance associating their brands with Senior G. So
right,
now they
right.
know what Senior G and New Age hip hop is. You know, it's not an act. This isn't a image or whatever the term is used for marketing. You have to look like this or you have to be like this. Now what you see is what you get. There is no push. You either like it or you don't. You know, which is fine. You know, there's 7.4 plus billion on the people on the planet, allegedly. So what? 5 billion don't like me. So
I know that's right, man. I know that's right, man. And so with the Village Global Network, man.
hmm
I I think that this is wonderful, man. I think this beyond amazing because you're growing global awareness, and so I can really appreciate that.
hmm
And we're growing this book,
strategically
right,
doing it.
right, right,
We're
right,
not
right, right.
just accepting any and all everybody. I could care less how much money you have, how many of Satan's awards you have on the mantle. That means zero to me.
Okay,
Money
okay.
doesn't make the world go round. People in relationships do,
I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig
you
it.
know.
And I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that it's definitely about relationships, great relationships. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I can appreciate that, man. And then speaking on relationships, man, I got a couple partners and we sat down and talked right before Christmas, that we're gonna be doing a seminar slash workshop, um, music and mental health. Um,
Mm,
don't have the exact location yet, but I would definitely be letting you know, man, because when it comes to this music industry, man, and in the entertainment industry, a lot of people have some mental health issues that they go through, and sometimes it goes unnoticed. So I want to bridge the gap where I got musicians, entertainers, but I also have licensed licensed clinical professionals, that deal with mental health,
right.
clients all the time, man. So I kind of want to bridge the gap, and I want to do it, make it an annual event and do it once a year because a lot of people, yeah, we see y'all entertaining, we see y'all doing that, man, but nobody know
What they
what's the
really going through.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. The,
What's the internal battle? The
right.
yeah. So you may not see externally, but the internal battle is way more painful than what you see externally. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Agreed. And what you're saying, it goes hand in hand with the Tuesday night show that we do with Miss Peggy. Like I said, it's I'm Healing with Miss Peggy Autumn's Way. We do
Hmm.
it every Tuesday night. It's about, it's a helpline. People, and she has had professionals from clinics on there from out of Columbus, Ohio, on the radio, talking to people sharing their stories. It's anonymous too, as well. If people don't want to say their locations or their names, that's fine. But just talk. She gives out the national hotline information for
Hmm.
mental health, thoughts of suicide, or any of that. Anybody that's struggling with any type of abuse, whether it be mental, physical, or substance. We do this every Tuesday. What you're
Okay.
saying. So whoever it is that we more than welcome to bring them in that way.
Okay.
And it's a phone call, and like I said, nobody has to say who they are or whatever. They can just share their story, you know um because somebody out there needs to hear it.
Right.
you know there's somebody else going through something very similar and have no clue of how to deal with it, other than
People.
to continue with going to the vice.
Right. People go through it every day, every hour, every second of the every minute of the day, man.
Somebody's
Somebody.
going through it right now while we're
Right.
talking.
That's right. That's right, man. So it's very important, man. Especially it's important in every community, man. But it's been hitting and thrown under the bus in the black community, especially for years. And so,
Yes.
and then, I told somebody else, I said, man, people don't understand that a lot of black men get tired, man. Like tired, you know, because we taught that we can't have no emotions, we can't shed a tear, we can't do any of that, It's looked at weak, soft, you know. We don't do that
Yeah.
around here. You know what I'm
I
saying? And so we just gotta open up the floor, man, and change the narrative, man. We have to.
It's an uphill battle. you know um the top of one mountain is just the bottom of the next.
Right, 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 right,
you know
right.
and again, like I said, I like these opportunities to have these types of conversations, because the music, it speaks for itself, and I appreciate you being willing to have this type of dialect on your platform,
Right.
because I have come across some creatives in the past that they'll talk about it on a personal level, yeah, but won't present it publicly for whatever reason, you know? So I appreciate you being the opposite of that and allowing me to continue to be myself genuinely on
Always,
your
man.
platform.
Always, man. I have to let you be open and honest with me because that's the only way that I'm gonna get you a full, raw, and uncut story. The only way. You know what I mean? Open and honest and transparency, man, because your story is gonna excite somebody else to stay inspired and go on for another day. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's a long, tough road, but it's worth it. You know, I have
Right.
110% of my soul intact.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is the most valuable currency everyone has.
Right, right, right,
You
right. Yeah,
know,
man.
so it's not a matter of when I wanted it to happen. It was when I was ready to receive it from the
Mm-hmm.
universe. You know, my story's already been written. I've just
Right,
been blessed to become aware to catch up to the pen,
right.
you know, and have more influence on the stroke of it versus just following,
That's right.
you
I
know.
can dig. I can dig it, man. I can dig it. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Senior G in the building this evening.
Yes.
Yes, yes, man. We appreciate you, man. We're almost out of time, so go ahead and give people, your people shout out and tell people where they can connect with you, follow you at, and keep up with what you have going on.
It's very, very, very easy to follow Senior G. You can go to Google or whatever your favorite search engine is and type in senior, like your last year in high school or college, or old person, space bar, GEE, return key. I don't have a Wikipedia page as of yet, but it'll get there eventually. But everything that you need to know about me now, yesterday, and tomorrow is already there, and it'll
All right.
continue to grow from there. I just want to shout out to the energies that allowed me to open my eyes this morning so I could be here. Um, Shout out to my spiritual law team fighting for me so that I can continue to say the things that I say unharmed. No weapon formed against me will prosper on this plane or the next. I want to shout out to everyone that's in the village. I want to shout out to King Jacob for allowing Senior G and New Age Hip Hop to come on to his platform, without fear of me being detrimental to his brand, what he's got going. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Likewise, likewise, man. And was there anybody from the village, that want to come on and talk about their story? And I welcome them to come on, man. You just get in
Oh
contact with
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man. We'll talk. We'll talk because I didn't go through all of your material. That would be a lie. But from the stuff that I did see, I don't see why you can't expand your reach. And,
okay,
you know, I'm in a position to talk to the person who's allowing me to do what I'm doing and see if it's possible to take it further than where you already are, you know?
okay.
Only thing that we've been asking from people is to continue doing what they've been doing.
All right, okay, okay, okay. Definitely, man. Definitely. We can definitely talk this week coming, man, and we can
Hmm.
just go from there.
Okay.
Yes, sir, man. So, man, I just want to thank you once again for coming on, man, and peace and blessings, and stay encouraged, my brother. And you know what it is, man. We blessed by the best. That's all it is.
Hey, we were chosen, you
Yeah,
know. We won the lottery already. And that's the part a lot of folks don't get, you know. They try to come up with six numbers, not even realizing they already won when their eyes open.
that's right. That's right. That's right, man. I tell people, it's like, man, I was like, being spiritually rich is far more than
Yeah.
any type of money you can ever have, man. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Yes.
people really don't understand
Yes.
that. Yeah, so man, but like I said, man, we're gonna be your man. You take care, be blessed, man, and I'll be in touch.
Peace, King Jacob. Thank you, man. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in now, everybody that's going to catch the replays in the near and far futures. You know, I hope you get something and that you learned something.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.